Okay, good morning. On the line right now is Jasmine Dodson. She's an attorney and family law expert. Good morning, Jasmine.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. And turns out, correct me if I'm wrong, summer vacation right afterwards, they're like, okay, I'm going to do this after we get back from Tahiti. And that's when the divorce rate spikes.
Yeah, according to the study that was conducted out in Seattle, they did some research for several years about when the most popular time for divorces were, and it turns out it's summer. And I can concur with those findings because a lot of people want to give the kids one last holiday,
together.
Similarly with Christmas, before kind of the floor falls out from underneath them.
Yeah.
Another thing is sometimes it can be a litigation tactic, because you want to form the proper jurisdiction. If you want your kids to stay where they are, you get them enrolled in school, and then the judges are going to be hard pressed to change the schools if they're already in there.
Now, which state do you practice in, by the way?
Texas.
In Texas, which I think I think the laws seem quite similar. But I don't know what it's like in Texas, but family court here can be really rough and really difficult.
Absolutely. I think it's pretty similar everywhere. The only thing that changes is the actual substantive laws.
Yeah.
But the strategies and things like that are very, very, very similar, very in line. So I mean, it's go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I just wonder if, so the survey is out that divorce is more prominent. It happens more often after summer vacation. I'm not sure there's any takeaway, though. Is there a takeaway something that we should be aware of that would help somebody? I'm not sure that there is.
Well, if you kind of the writing's on the wall,
yeah.
Maybe summer vacation might not be a good idea to bring your in-laws over to kind of antagonize your spouse a little bit more. Maybe It might be the time to kind of evaluate your relationship and see if it's time to get some counseling, see where the kids are, see where your spouse is, and maybe make that one last-ditch effort during the summer to kind of be the best you can be.
Turn it around. Try to turn it around. So, okay, and so what do you, I mean, the difficulty that I think we have, and I was hearing somebody just talk about this yesterday, about how, they felt that they were in a situation where the attorneys, both their attorney and the attorney of this guy's wife, they really felt that the attorneys were really keeping things in court. And really, I don't want to say milking it, but really, hey, at the end of the day, as long as the battle continues, everybody's making money.
I don't want to give attorneys a bad name. However, I have seen circumstances like that where you have a couple who just say, I just want an easy divorce. I just want, we've already agreed on everything.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they get attorneys involved, and the attorneys get paid by the billable hour. But the thing is what people really need to know when going and searching for a divorce and family law attorney is get a recommendation from a friend. You can go online and do your own research and due diligence and whatnot, but you want to go with someone that is referred to you that you can trust, that is going to represent your interests and not their interests.
Yeah. And, because I hate to say, everybody's got somebody, a family court or a divorce attorney. Everybody knows somebody that's been through it. And I think that you find somebody that you can really trust. That's really important. Somebody that's, in many cases, going to make you a better parent, even possibly after it's all said and done.
Absolutely. And a lot of the judges are really pushing more towards gearing up the parents for co-parenting. I know in the state of Texas, when you get a divorce and you have children, going to co-parenting classes are required. So the judges actually mandate the parents to go so that they can continue fostering that relationship with the children.
What do you find also that it's very interesting that during the court process, if you have you have parents who are split, and I think I've seen this because I've been through it, and I think I've seen it with my own kids, where when we were going through all of this, and my boys were it was back and forth between mom's house and our house. It was more, we were more cautious. Everything was by the book. But then my wife and I have a daughter together, and it's like, but it's okay. We can relax a little bit because it's the two of us here. Do you see a little bit of that?
Oh, absolutely,
Parents
especially
are-
with the older kids.
Yeah,
In
when
the state of
yes.
Texas, the judges are allowed to, or the judges have the discretion to talk to children over the age of 12. So if you're 12 years old and, you can go play at dad's house and just, sit on the iPad and the Xbox, of course
Yeah.
you're going to tell the judge, yeah, that's where I want to go.
Right.
So that's another reason why it's very important to get a good attorney who understands what you want and what your values are and how you're raising your kids, so they don't try to say, okay, well, now you got to compete with dad. You got to get the kid an Xbox and a PlayStation.
Right,
So they don't want
right.
to come with you. No, it's about getting the kids into counseling so that you can continue fostering that relationship, because it's always what's in the best interest of the kids.
Right. And I guess if you could, as a parent, if you could always focus on that, what is best for the child, you'll be making the decisions come out a lot easier and they come out better.
Absolutely. There's so many times where I see couples that just want to win. They just want to beat the other parent out of their own game.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you don't have kids, that's fine. Fight all you want. But if you've got kids, your kids are watching your behavior, and you have to make a choice whether you want them to grow up to pattern that behavior.
I just had a story this morning on Texas family law, and it says that, and tell me if this is true, sometimes we get these stories that are a little embellished, but that if you've not paid your child support in 6 months, that at least, I believe in Texas, they can prevent you from getting a driver's license.
Yes, that's actually possible. There are several penalties associated with not paying your child support on time, and with those, the judge can prevent you from obtaining your driver's license. However, those kind of cases are very extreme.
Mm-hmm.
It's 6 months is kind of a minimum. However, I haven't seen judges do it unless it's been specifically egregious.
Yeah,
but even
yeah.
if they do take your driver's license, you can apply for what's called an occupational driver's license.
Got it.
Where the judge will allow you to continue to go to work so you can pay your child support.
Yeah, because that was the concern we had.
Yeah, how are you going to pay for how do you get to work? Yeah, and pay and ultimately pay for your child support. So, all right, very interesting. Yeah.
Another penalty associated with not paying your child support is going to jail.
Right.
So I've seen a judge, people say, hey, I can't pay my child support, lock them up for a couple days, then bring them back out and say, hey, can you pay your child support now? Then they make a phone call and make it happen.
Yeah.
I believe this is true in New York. I don't know if it is in Texas, but if you have a job, if the case is I have a job and I can't lose my license because then I can't pay any child support, can't the court just deduct it from your paycheck before you even get your hands on it?
Surely, yeah.
Yeah.
And the state of Texas, we have what's called an income withholding order that is usually filed at the same time as a child support order. So once you file that in, the Texas Attorney General takes care of all of that.
And what is the percentage in Texas? I think here it's 17%. Yeah.
For one child?
One child is 17%, and then it reduces for each child slightly from thereafter.
In Texas, one child is 20%.
20%. Wow.
20% of 20% of net income.
Of your net income, yeah. So interestingly, we have it a little bit better than those in Texas. And the other thing is, in New York, I know that if you're sitting there and you're because I was in this situation where I lost my job and I was making really pretty decent money and lost my job. So I fell behind in my payments, and everybody was very understanding. But the judge will ask your ex, do you want to proceed? Because the support judge in New York cannot send you to jail. You'd have to then be referred to the family court judge. So the support judge will look over to your ex and say, do you want me to recommend this to the judge? You understand that it would mean that he could go to jail, and they can say either yes or no. I don't know if it's like that in Texas.
In Texas, you have the option. The judge will hear from both sides, but ultimately it's the discretion of the judge as to whether or not someone is going to go to jail or not.
And I think once you get to the family court judge, that's the case. But when you're in front of the magistrate for support, they ask. And by the way, if you're wondering, the answer that came out of my ex was yes. Absolutely. So it shows you the tensions inside those courtrooms. All right, very interesting stuff. Thank you so much, Jasmine. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Have a great day.